Newer homes are really good at hiding building issues and construction problems because the excitement of seeing a brand new property can make small defects easy to miss. This is the exact final walkthrough checklist for new construction you need to look for. Ciao everyone, I'm Fedi and welcome back. I'm a real estate investor, interior designer and property flipper. And today I'm gonna teach you how to do a snag list or punch list for a new construction property before handover. This episode has been developed with maestro snaggers, so we can bring you real technical insights on what to check before accepting the keys. A house can look completely finished and still have small issues. And the frustrating part is that most of these problems don't show themselves until the house has actually been lived in for a few weeks. Some of the most common defects found during professional snagging inspections are surprisingly simple things buyers often miss, like loose electrical sockets, hollow-sounding floor or wall tiles, doors that don't latch properly, or air conditioning systems that are running but not cooling efficiently. The first thing you want to slow down and inspect is the cosmetic finish work, because brand new construction hides rushed touch-ups surprisingly well. Fresh paint and clean staging make everything feel finished at the first glance, but tiny defects become extremely obvious once you actually start living inside the house every day. Most builders and developers are trying to finish multiple homes at the same time near closing, and that final stretch usually gets hectic. Different crews are walking in and out constantly. Tools are moving around. Materials are still getting installed, and small damage happens everywhere during that process. Look at walls from an angle and check surfaces slowly instead of scanning quickly. Countertops, cabinets corner, trim, flooring transition, windows and caulking lines are the areas where rushed finishing usually shows up first. And honestly, I think buyers trust the word new way too much during walkthroughs. Your brain automatically assumes new means perfect, so you stop looking carefully after a few minutes. That's usually when problems survive the walkthrough. Builders will often fix cosmetic defects before closing if they are documented clearly. But after closing, small cosmetic complaints become much easier for them to push aside. Take photos immediately. Write every issue down and don't convince yourself something is too minor to mention. Tiny unfinished details stack together fast once you move in, and the goal of the walkthrough is catching them while the builder still has pressure to fix them. Cosmetic problems are annoying, sure, but water problems are the ones that quickly turn into expensive repairs later. This is the stage where you stop looking at the house like a buyer and start testing it like somebody who already owns it. Plumbing issues could be hiding underneath sinks, behind toilets, or around exterior drainage. Turn on every faucet, flush every toilet, run every shower, and let the water stay running longer than feels necessary. Leaks are not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a tiny drip under a sink, a loose toilet base, or water pooling slowly near a tub edge because something wasn't sealed properly. I've seen buyers do a walkthrough without running the upstairs shower at all, then discover drainage issues right after move-in because nobody ever tested it long enough. Exterior drainage matters too, especially around gutters and downspouts. If water isn't getting pushed away properly, these can slowly create much bigger issues later. And with new construction, a lot of plumbing systems are being installed quickly under tight timelines, so small misses happen more often than people think. You're not trying to find catastrophic damage during the walkthrough. You're trying to catch the tiny signs that something wasn't fully finished or tested correctly before the handoff. If something feels even slightly off, keep testing it until you understand what you're seeing. A pre-handover walkthrough is one of the only moments where you still have the leverage before the house officially becomes your responsibility, and water issues are never the kind of things you want to wait and see. And once the water is working properly, the next thing that starts revealing rush construction is everything connected to power. Electrical problems are harder to notice because most buyers only check whether something turns on. The real walkthrough happens when you start testing the electrical system the way you'd actually use it during normal life, not just for 5 seconds while standing in the room. Turn on lights together, test outlets with chargers, switch on appliances, and make sure every switch actually controls what it is supposed to control. If appliances are installed These deserve more attention than people give them to, especially in new construction, where installation crews are moving fast. For example, open and close the dishwasher, test the oven, and check whether the refrigerator closes properly. Honestly, this is one of those sections where people rush because flipping switches feel boring compared to looking at the house itself. But small electrical mistakes become daily frustrations immediately after move-in. I've seen rooms where switches control the wrong lights, outlets that weren't fully powered, and appliances installed slightly uneven because nobody checked them carefully after installation. Your AC controls belong in the section too. Run the heat and air conditioning long enough to confirm they're actually changing temperature correctly, because sometimes systems power on normally while still not functioning the way they should. If something feels confusing, inconsistent, unfinished during a 1-hour walkthrough, it usually becomes much more frustrating once you're living with it every day. And the deeper you get into testing the house properly, some of the most important problems are the ones that you can't immediately see. And I have put together a walkthrough checklist to help you approach this process in a smarter, more strategic way. So make sure you check the link below. This is usually where buyers realize how much they missed during the first half of the walkthrough, because the structural details are the parts of the house people naturally assume were already done correctly. But doors, windows, flooring, and framing issues leave small clues everywhere once you start paying attention to movement and alignments. Open every door fully, lock every window, and actually pay attention to how things move. Alignment tells you a lot about the quality of the installation. Doors shouldn't scrape the floor, windows shouldn't resist opening, and flooring shouldn't feel uneven underneath your feet. And I think this part matters more than people realize, because small alignment problems sometimes point towards bigger setting or installation issues underneath. New construction naturally settles over time, sure, but badly installed doors or visible gaps around windows can also mean parts of the house were rushed near the end. Walk slowly through each room and look where walls meet ceilings, where trim meets flooring, and where cabinets meet walls. Tiny separations and crooked lines are usually easier to catch when you stop looking at the room as a whole and start looking at how individual parts connect together. You're basically looking at signs that the house was assembled carefully instead of just assembled quickly. Most buyers focus on appearance first, but movement and alignment usually tell you more about build quality than paint color or countertops ever will. Now, everything we've covered so far are checks that most buyers can perform themselves during a walkthrough. But some of the most important defects aren't visible to the naked eye and aren't things that most people will be able to test. Professional snagging inspectors use specialist equipment and follow detailed inspection procedures designed to identify issues that are easy to miss during a normal visit. Using tools such as thermal cameras, moisture meters, electrical testing equipment, and detailed HVAC performance check, inspectors can uncover problems that may not show any visible sign yet. They can identify structural movement, moisture intrusion, mold risks, plumbing concerns, air conditioning defects, electrical issues, and other costly problems. Inspection costs vary depending on the property type and size, but the investment is often small compared to the cost of repairing hidden defects later. The most important part of the entire walkthrough is the documentation process, because finding problems during a walkthrough doesn't really matter if nothing gets written down clearly before closing. Every issue you notice should go onto a formal punch list with photos attached whenever possible. Documentation protects you from the awkward situation where a builder later says an issue wasn't there before move-in or wasn't reported during the walkthrough. And buyers always get nervous about sounding too picky here, especially after spending months waiting for construction to finish. But this is exactly the moment where you are supposed to be detailed. Don't convince yourself that something is too small to mention. The goal is to create a complete record of everything that needs attention before handover. A pre-handover walkthrough is usually the moment when buyers have the stronger position to request corrections before accepting the property. While many developers provide defect liability periods and warranty coverage after handover, it's always easier to address issues before the keys officially change hands. Once you sign the handover papers, resolving issues often becomes more complicated. Many developers still provide warranty and defect liability coverage, but addressing defects before handover is usually faster, simpler, and less stressful. This is why a detailed snagging report by a professional can be so valuable. It provides a structured record of defects and creates a clear action list for the developer. And it helps ensure that nothing important is overlooked. And if you have hired an inspection, the job is not only to identify defects, but also to prepare and organize the documentation noted for the developer, clarify defect liability responsibility, and, in some cases, buy you valuable time if you're still finalizing mortgage approvals or other paperwork before signing the handover documents. Finally, always ask about the warranties. Understand exactly what's covered, how long the coverage lasts, and who you should contact if issues appear after move-in. A lot of buyers hear builder warranty and assume everything is automatically covered. Then, get surprised later when certain cosmetic or maintenance-related items fall outside those terms. A final walkthrough is simply about protecting your investment. Catch issues early, document them properly, and resolve them before accepting the keys. And if you are buying a new property in the UAE and want an independent assessment before a handover, consider arranging a professional snagging inspection before accepting the keys. Catching defects early can save significant time, money, and stress after move-in. Check the description below for more information on this. I really hope this video gave you some useful ideas, and if it did, please support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and leaving a comment to let me know what you would like me to cover next.